We are continuing to cover this tragic vehicle ramming attack that occurred on Bourbon Street in New Orleans. 10 people dead, dozens of others injured. As we continue to follow this investigation as it unfolds, let's bring in Louisiana Senator Bill Cassidy. Sir, thank you for joining us. Our condolences to you, to all of this happening and unfolding in your state. I just want to get your early thoughts as this investigation gets underway.
FBI has confirmed they're investigating it as as an issue of terrorism. They've got license plates on the truck. They've got the person who's been killed. They know the inside of the truck. I think if they're calling it terrorism, they think it's terrorism. And they have some evidence as to the ideology of the person. That'll be revealed pretty soon. And lastly, I'll say, if they're terrorists, we can't let the terrorists win. We got to track them down, hunt them down, bring them to justice, and live on with our lives and not let them stop us from doing what we normally do.
Senator Bryan here. There's a family reunification center that's been set up at the University Medical Center. That is the level 1 trauma hospital in the New Orleans area. That is where the majority, at least 26 people, are now being treated with critical injuries. We're told that reunification center is on the first floor of the UMC Conference Center across from Tower 2, which is the midpoint of the hospital. What are you hearing, Senator, about the families, victims, the people in your community who are suffering right now?
First, people need to be reassured. I'm a gastroenterologist. My wife's a general surgeon who trained in trauma. And let's just understand the system. When there's a mass casualty incident, then people go through and they say, well, this person's dead. This person won't survive, but this person's critical. Let's get them to the level 1. The level 1 trauma center there is run by LSU Medical School and Tulane Medical School. And so they've got lots of physicians all the time ready to run it. If there's those who have lesser injuries and the level 1 trauma center is full, they'll send them to the other hospitals, but they're great hospitals. Example, Ochsner, who's well prepared to accept people. I don't know if people went to Ochsner. My point being, there's adequate capacity to take on even such a terrible incident as this. Then lastly, somebody pointed out a lot of people are sleeping late. They just stayed out maybe too late last night. So if you're not hearing from your loved one, it's not necessarily that they're involved with this. Indeed, probably not. It's more likely that they're just sleeping in after staying out late. But still, I can understand everyone's concerned.
Yeah, a lot of people waking up to heartbreak today, and as you mentioned, may not even know that this has occurred yet at this point in the morning as this begins to unfold. The FBI has been very boldly, within just a few hours of this all unfolding, acknowledging that they're investigating this as an act of terrorism. They're in this iconic location. Really, all of America is familiar with Bourbon Street and the revelry and what this means on an iconic night, on a holiday night. What do you make of what the callousness of this act and the timing of it?
Yeah, terrorists choose the moment when they can have the most impact upon people's imagination. They're going to choose a place that they know will be the center of attention. They don't go to some small town and kill one person. No, they go to a big city with lots of media where they know they'll get attraction. Their whole point is to strike terror within us. That's why, frankly, circumstantially, it looks like it's a terror act, as well as things I'm sure they're finding on the truck and on the person. That said, we need to find them, bring them to justice, hunt down their whole organization, because this clearly looks like it was organized, and then live on with our lives. Do not be intimidated by terrorists.
Senator, New Orleans is no stranger to major events. You not only have New Year's Eve, you obviously have the Sugar Bowl. Decades of, even hundreds of years of parades. Do you consider this a failure? What do you know? What are you hearing about how somebody was able to go around a barricade in the French Quarter?
First, we live in a free society. Unless you want to have a checkpoint every block, it's very difficult to keep such things from happening. And a checkpoint in which your truck is, or your vehicle, or your person is checked. And in our free society, we typically don't like that. We want to get from here to there very rapidly. So that's just kind of inherent in our society. Now, that said, I can promise you in advance of the game tonight or the Super Bowl a month from now, there's going to be a lot of limitations of what people can do. Let me say one more thing just to reassure people, because I've been asked, what about the Superdome itself and the game tonight? That stadium's been locked down. Before this event happened, they would go through with dogs and other things to sniff any explosives or anything else, and it's locked down, like no one can get in it. They do that before every Saints game, before every big event like a Taylor Swift concert, which they recently had, and they did it before this game. When you go into the stadium, standard operating procedure, you go through a magnometer to make sure that no one's bringing in things they shouldn't bring in. So the game tonight will be safe. But I can promise you, whatever our desire for freedom in our society, there'll be more checkpoints from here out.
So you think the game should happen tonight?
Yes, the terrorists win if we don't live our lives. We must live our lives. Otherwise, one more time, they win and they can't win. We've got to track them down. We've got to hunt them down. We've got to find out their supporting network, and we've got to bring them to justice. We can do that. We've done it before. And then we don't let them intimidate us.
Louisiana Senator Bill Cassidy, thank you for joining us. Some hard days ahead, and our thoughts are with you. Thank you.